today on behalf of the Dubuque Democratic Socialists. We're a chapter of the Democratic Socialists of America. We're an activist organization, not a political party, and we are your neighbors, your co-workers, your classmates who are working to organize and mobilize those who up to this point have largely been politically disengaged. We're part of a resurgence of socialism in America. We are some of the 30,000 people in this country who have said enough. We've had enough of profit taking priority over the needs of the people. We have had enough of living hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck, and being told that the economy is doing great. We know our economy is not meeting the needs of the vast majority of us because it's not supposed to. In a capitalist society, the economy's purpose is to funnel profits into the hands of the few. We say no.
No.
In the past year, we have seen a president who came to power under a populist message, govern as a would-be tyrant, and too many elected officials who have taken an oath to protect and defend our collective welfare are standing by as he does it. I'm looking at you, Chuck Grassley, Joni Ernst, and Rod Blum.
Yeah.
We are watching him loot government resources for his private gain. We see him malign immigrants and tear families apart through deportation. We see his administration attacking key provisions that deeply affect all women, especially the most vulnerable among us: access to health care, funding for education, and pay equity in the workplace. How is this possible? Why did Americans vote for him, and how can he continue with so little meaningful material resistance? A year ago, many of us thought he'd be impeached within a few months, and yet here we are. This should be a bright red flag for us that he's not an anomaly, but that he's reflecting the values of too many Americans who are now in power. And misogynistic beliefs about women have played a major role in making this administration possible. Beliefs that women cannot be trusted to make their own health care decisions. Beliefs that women do not deserve equal pay for equal work. Beliefs that women's primary purpose is to serve the interests of pussy-grabbing, exploitative, and powerful men.
No!
And for those who hold these beliefs as their core values, they're celebrating the things that we're decrying here today. It's business as usual, folks. Just a little less polite and a lot more overt at the moment. The president is a tool of the capitalist class. Capitalists use misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, racism, classism, and religion to keep people desperate and divided. Capitalism cannot exist without people who are desperate enough to work for the bottom dollar. The current government does not serve people, but it serves capitalists. This is why feminism and women's rights matter. When women do not have the power to negotiate for our own labor, when we do not have the power to make our own reproductive choices, when we are told it is too much to expect protection under the law as we move through the world, it keeps us desperate. It keeps our pay low and our benefits nil. It keeps us in exploitative jobs and abusive relationships. It keeps us in substandard housing and at the mercy of slumlords. When women's rights do not matter, work that is traditionally thought of as women's work, teaching, housekeeping, social services, food service, is not valued by capitalists. Our capitalist system cannot exist without insecure, low-wage, no-benefit jobs, and we will not have social justice until we have economic justice. We will not have social justice until women can negotiate the terms of our labor. We will not have social justice until women have full control over their reproductive lives. We will not have social justice until women are are equally represented in leadership, both in the public and private sectors. We will not have social justice until women have the confidence that the laws protect our personal and economic security. Most importantly, though, we will not have social or economic justice until we come together in solidarity to organize and make real change. The exploitative conditions of capitalism can thrive only as long as we remain separated from each other. We've got to show up for each other. So if you care about social justice, show up to vote. But that's not enough. If you care about social justice, get involved in somebody's campaign, in a candidate's campaign that you believe in, and go vote and bring your neighbors to vote. If you care about social justice, show up on the school board and support our teachers' labor in our children's education.
Yes.
If you care about social justice, show up to the corporate boardroom and demand equal pay and a living wage.
Yes.
If you care about social justice, show up to demand that women and men of color are protected by law enforcement.
Yes.
If you care about social justice, show up to join the Dubuque Renters Union and defend your neighbor's right to safe and affordable housing.
Yes.
If you care about social justice, join the Dubuque Democratic Socialists in fighting for Medicare for all. We need to show up today, we need to show up tomorrow, we need to keep showing up day after day. Solidarity.